I call my work gravity glue, and that name came from just being at the creek here and people stopping with some kind of curiosity to the structures I'm building and asking if they're glued. So I decided gravity glue is a good name because gravity is the only glue that holds it together. Since my work started getting traction all around the world, I've started traveling a lot more to different environments. So I'll just kind of do it wherever I end up. As long as there's rocks and gravity, it just kind of works. And everything that's happening here is just physics, essentially. And it does have a very explainable, tangible mechanics behind it. Like it is just using the edges of the rocks. Like I like to compare the rocks as kind of like a finger pointing at the moon, where the rocks are kind of the finger and the rest of nature is the moon. So like once this structure is standing, it has a way of channeling human attention to the surroundings going on all around. And I think that's part of the magic of it all, is it tunes the human brain into actually really paying close attention to nature. Like land art in general is much more of this collaboration with nature, or like working with it, not against it. And there's not really any way you can control nature. It's just the nature of it is to not be in control. So it requires myself to surrender to some degree and basically fall in line with what nature is doing. Like a structure like this, for example, is not going to exist unless nature allows it, through whatever wind activity or weather is going on. Like that's why I consider this a form of yoga, or like stone yoga, because very literally it's taking all these separate parts and balancing them in a certain way to become a unified whole. It's creating some kind of union. But also that's what's going on with myself, this sense of separated self from nature. It's kind of like creating a yoga between myself and the natural environment. So like when I'm building and working with these vibrations and tuning into the moment and finally ending up at this 0 point where it's all balanced and I can let go, that 0 point is where I can't really distinguish between myself and nature. It's like a very unified moment. My art was this huge leap into the unknown. For anyone that might be scared to take a leap into the unknown, I would say you really have to trust your instinct and what your heart is telling you. And that may still end up in a situation that might not work, but it might. I guess I want to translate some of what I feel to other people, which is just kind of this sense of peace and magic